voice of Mackie's Foundation International, Mackie's FM 90.5 megahertz.
This is Mackie's FM 90.5, your very best.
From the back of the E&J Medical Center, good evening and a pleasant welcome to Maggie News Flow. Maggie News Flow is a 45-minute news presentation that captures major happening in Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our global village. It also features the news in the simple Liberian English as well as the news in the Mano vernacular. Today's presentation, my name is Zika N. Vlule. Ahead of the news is our headlines. The General Minister calls for urgent action against raising violence toward women and children. Lone public school in Bangasha College in deplorable state. Liberian pastor accused of defrauding congregation in 13,000 Canadian visa scam. Away from Liberia, Uganda records first Ebola death since 2023 outbreak ended. Those are the news read in headlines. Now keep tuned as we bring you this and many other developments. This break will come back. We'll bring you the news bulletin. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. A well-known Liberian pastor, Jerome Ben Greatness, senior pastor of General Overseer of Turbulent Evangelical Fire Ministry in the Chicken Soup Factory community, is at the center of growing controversy after being accused of defrauding church members and other Liberians of over US 13,000 in the fraudulent Canadian visa. The allegations surfaced on social media on Tuesday, January 28, 2025, sparking outcry and disappointment among those who once trusted him as a spiritual leader. According to Musa Al-Hakim Kamara, one of the alleged victims, Pastor Greatness promised to secure Canadian visas for 9 struggling Liberians in exchange of hefty payment. Kamara, who spoke to the media on Wednesday, revealed that the initial agreement was reached in May 2024 by payments made in 4 installments. Trusting the pastor's words, Kamara and others began making payments. The first payment of US 6,000 was handed over on Benson Street, Monrovia, through Pastor Greatness, junior pastor, Marvelous Pay. Subsequent payment of 3,000 and 1,000 followed, bringing the total to 13,000. However, after the full amount was paid, none of the 9 individuals received visas, nor were they able to complete the biometric process required for Canada visa applications. Realizing he had been deceived, Kamara pursued legal actions. A writ of arrest has now been issued by the Monrovia City Court, signed by Statutory Magistrate L. Ben Bacon, ordering the arrest of Pastor Greatness and Marvelous Pay for theft of property and criminal conspiracy, in accordance with Article 15.51 and Article 10.1 of the Liberian Penal Law. The arrest order mandates both the pastors to be taken into custody and presented to the nearest police station. Pastor Greatness has denied the allegations, calling them an attack on his reputation. Speaking via WhatsApp from an undisclosed location, he admitted receiving money for the visa applications but claimed that the process was not completed because the full amount was not paid. Meanwhile, another alleged victim, Madam Odila Ogunbiyi, confirmed that she was also stuck into paying $5,700 for a Canadian visa. However, after that, she described as a thorough fight, she managed to get a refund. Workers at the Firestone Liberia have initiated a go-slow protest demanding immediate action on series of unresolved issues, including inadequate retirement benefits and insufficient support for sick employees. The protest, which began on Thursday, January 30th, is led by the National Timber and Wood Union and the Firestone Agriculture Workers Union, FAWU. The workers have vowed through dissatisfaction with the company's golden handshake retirement system, a monthly stipend scheme for retired employees, which argue fails meet their basic financial needs. Marcus S. Bana, Secretary General of the National Timber Wood Construction Aid alleged workers union in Liberia criticized Firestone management for ongoing in the workers' concern and failing to engage in meaningful collective bargaining. Workers who have been duplicated 10 to 15 years to his company are being disregarded and denied their benefits, Blama stated. In addition to these retirement and health concerns, the unions are demanding that the collective bargaining arrangement CBA be extended to all workers, including the payment and contract employees. This call follows repeated assurances from Firestone and the Ministry of Labor that the policy updates won't be forthcoming, promises that they won't be materialized. Balama warns that if these issues are not addressed swiftly, the go-slow action will persist, potentially disrupting company operations and drawing further attention to Firestone's failure to address critical worker welfare concerns. The workers' discontent highlights a broader sense of neglect, with many feelings abandoned by the company and the Ministry of Labor. As tensions continue to rise, the future of labor relations at Firestone Liberia remains uncertain. As of the time of the publication, Firestone Liberia has not responded to multiple requests for comment from the FPA. The company's communication manager, Justice Ara Clark, did not reply to inquiries sent via email and WhatsApp. A legal request by the Liberian government to postpone proceedings in a Capitol building arson case has raised concerns about the efficiency of representing the state in the case, filed in a motion on January 28, seeking a continuum for a trial involving defendants Tomo Edera, Eric Sway, and other unidentified individuals. The case involves serious charges including arson, criminal conspiracy, aggravated assault, and illegal possession of firearms. The government's request for a delayed cites its scheduling conflict as the lawyers representing the state were involved in a joint security meeting at the same time the hearing was due to take place. As a result, the court has rescheduled the hearing on Friday, January 31 at 10 o'clock a.m. The case stems from the December 8 incident when the Capitol building was set on fire in an alleged arson attack that caused significant damage to the joint chamber of the House of Legislature on the Capitol Hill. The attack took place amid heightening political tensions, fueling fears of disruption and potential widespread unrest. In response, the Liberian government launched an investigation identifying several individuals, including Thomas Edirad, Eric Susi, and others, as the key suspects in the attack. These individuals are facing multiple charges related to the destruction of public property, enduring lives, and conspiring to commit serious crimes. The case has erupted widespread public attention, with many Liberians demanding answers about who orchestrated the attack and the extent of involvement by individual figures within the government or security forces. However, critics of the government's handling of the case have raised concerns over the delay, particularly given the seriousness of the charges and the public's call for swift justice. The Ministry of Justice request for a postponement was sparked questions about the Liberian justice system's ability to effectively manage such a high-profile case. The timing of the delay, especially at such a crucial point in the investigation, has led to fears that the case won't be further prolonged or even undermined. A nurse, the Press Union of Liberia has expressed a deep concern regarding the repeated assassination involving journalist Moses Gazewu of the British Broadcasting Corporation, the BBC, and Officer Maggie of the Liberian National Police, LNP. The incident occurred in the late morning hours of Saturday, January 25, 2025, at the SKD Sports Complex in Pinkville. Police officers were stationed there to provide security for the ongoing National County Sport Meets. The NCSMY journalists gathered to cover the event. The PUL condemns the use of force by Officer Toh in his attempts to remove journalist Gazewu from the police designated rejected area, barricaded area, or line. The PUL acknowledges that Officer Toh and journalist Gazewu became entangled in a conflict driven by their professional responsibilities. However, having just engaged in sporting experience and exercise within the SKD Sport Complex, Gazewu, dressed in a shorts and a top, was making his way out of the SKD premises, which included parts designated by the police as restricted areas. The PUL recognizes that the widely circulated online video duplicating the confrontation between journalist Gazewu and Officer Toh captures only a portion of the incident. The head up to the verbal exchanges and earlier interactions between the two parties did not record. To thoroughly understand the matter, the PUL has participated in the comprehensive investigation initiated by the LMP's Professional Standards Division, the PSD, following an investigation extended on Tuesday, January 28, 2025. Journalist Gazewu and Officer Toh provided written and verbal communication and testimonies during the investigation, which included cross-examinations. This process involved queries about each party, questions posed by investigators and the PUL and media lawyer R. Vanny Rogers. A preliminary views of the video recording of the incident was also conducted. Journalist Gazewu is well known and award-winning full member of the PUL, serving as a correspondent of the BBC in London. Although he was not officially on duty at the time of the incident, he had obtained his unlimited access pass and from the Ministry of Youth and Sports NYS. That Saturday morning, he was making efforts to assist other journalists standing along and outside the police barricade in acquiring their access pass from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. In conclusion, the PUL urges cooperation and respect between journalists and the police. All parties must recognize their shared mission of serving the public interest, free from self-interest, antagonism, or hostility toward one another. If you are just joining us, it is indeed a reminder that you are following Maggie News Flow on Maggie FM 90.5. We transmit to you here in Gompa City, Nimba County. Still ahead of this presentation is the news in the simple Liberian English as well as the news in the Mano vernacular. The only government-run elementary and junior high school in Bangasha Kole, Panta District, Bon County, is currently facing challenges. Sorry? The reports highlight a series of distressing incidents, including the tragic death of young injured whose lifeless body was discovered with several parts allegedly missing. It was reported that she had been abused and struggled, while members in numerous and others of violence against women and children continue to emerge across the country. These hilarious acts underscore the urgent need for comprehensive measures to prevent such atrocities, especially when they are committed by individuals expected to serve as protectors and caregivers. The ministry condemns such acts in a stronger tone, emphasizing that they do not violate fundamental human rights, but also hinder the national, social, and economic development. Gender Minister Gbami Harris Colley extends her deepest condolences to families who have lost children due to violence or abuse. She urges the Ministry of Justice to act swiftly in apprehending and prosecuting the perpetrators, stressing that the prompt and decisive response is crucial in curbing these concerns. She also called on all citizens, including Christian and Muslim communities, as well as international and local partners, to unequivocally condemn these acts of violence. Meanwhile, the ministry is encouraging the public to utilize the National GBV 116 call center, a toll-free service that allows residents to respond and report cases of violence and abuse at low cost. The ministry reaffirms its commitment to advocating for and implementing initiatives aimed at enduring justice, violence against vulnerable populations in Liberia. And that is it for the news bulletin this evening on Maggie News Flow. Let's now go for this break. We'll come back with John Stanley Wanyakawi for the simplified version of Maggie News Flow, as well as the news in the Mano vernacular. Let's now John Stanley. But firstly, let's take this break. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. Good evening, Stanley.
Good evening to you, Zika. And good evening to you, my people out there listening to me. My name is Stanley Wanyakawe.
Many thanks to the man Stanley Wanyankawi for the news in the simple Liberian English as well as the news in the Manan vernacular. That is indeed a regular feature on Maggie News Flow. And still ahead of this presentation is our foreign development. But let's take this break. We'll come back. We'll bring you our foreign development right here on Maggie News Flow. Welcome back. On the forest scene this evening on Market News Flow, a nurse in Uganda has died of Ebola, a health official said Thursday, in the first recorded fatality since the last outbreak ended in 2023. The 32-year-old male nurse was an employee of Malago Hospital, the main referral facility in the capital Kampala, Danan Atene. Permanent security of the health ministry told reporters Thursday. After developing a fever, he was tested at several locations in Uganda before multiple lab tests confirmed he had been suffering from Ebola. The man died on Wednesday, and the Sudan strain of Ebola has confirmed following post-mortem tests, Atuni said. At least 44 contacts of the victim have been identified, including 30 health workers and patients at Malago Hospital, according to Uganda's Ministry of Health. The health authorities are in full control of the situation, Alinta said, urging Ugandans to report suspected cases. Tracing contacts is the key staining for the spread of Ebola, and there are no approved vaccines for the Sudan strain of Ebola. Uganda's last outbreak, discovered in September 2022, killed at least 55 people before it was declared over in January 2023. Confirmation of Ebola in Uganda is the latest in a trend of outbreak of various hemorrhagic fevers in the Eastern African region. Tanzania declared an outbreak of Ebola-like Marburg disease earlier this month. And in December, Rwanda announced that its own outbreak of Marburg was over. The ongoing Marburg outbreak in the northern Tanzania's Kagera region has killed at least 2 people, according to local health authorities. Ebola, which is spread by contact with body fluids of an infected person or contaminated materials, manifests a deadly hemorrhagic fever. Symptoms include fever, vomiting, diarrhea, muscle pain, and at times internal and external bleeding. Scientists don't know the natural reservoir of Ebola, but they suspect the first person infected in an outbreak acquired by the virus through contact with an infected animal or eating its raw meat. Ugandan officials are still investigating the source of the current outbreak. Uganda had multiple Ebola outbreaks, including one in 2000 that killed hundreds. The 2014 to 2016 Ebola outbreak in West Africa killed more than 11,000 people. The disease's latest death toll, Ebola, was discovered in 1976 in 2 simultaneous outbreaks in South Sudan and Congo, where it occurred in a village near the Ebola River, after which the disease was named. And that is it this evening on Maggie News Flow. Just before we go, we revisit our major stories. Gender Ministry calls for urgent action against rising violence toward women and children in Liberia. A lone public school in Bangasha Kole in deplorable conviction. A Liberian pastor accused of defrauding congregation in 13,000 Canadian visa. Away from Liberia, Uganda records first Ebola death since 2023 outbreak ended. And that is it for today's presentation on Maggie News Flow. Join us on tomorrow, Friday, January 31, 2025, for an all edition of Maggie News Flow. Many thanks to all of our contributors, including our CEO, Pastor Colinius Nyamato, and all those who contributed to make this program a success. On behalf of the production team, my name is Zika N. Vlule. Many thanks to Stanley Nwanyankawe, who brought our news in the simplified version of Maggie News Flow. On behalf of the team, we are bidding you a pleasant, good Thursday night.